Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to move on from the video I started the other day, and the first step I'm taking to kind of get a control of everything, get organized, so that I can better focus and really just know where my stuff is. So the first thing we're going to do, swap over to this other camera, is we're going to install the Honeycomb storage wall system on my workbench. I kind of teased that a little bit in the intro video to this, but that's what we're going to do. I've already printed all of the wall panels. Here in just a second I'll do a time lapse of a couple of those printing so you can kind of see what a panel looks like, and then we'll move on to mounting them, and then we'll start talking about the different things we need to hang things and the different models. So let's just take a quick look real quick. This is the Honeycomb wall system, and what I actually want to look at is the makes. Look at some of these photos of other people that have made it, just to kind of, so you can kind of see some ideas. Like I plan to do a ruler. I plan to do something for my calipers. Simple, very simple stuff. Simple. It's more of a, like a workbench sort of stuff. So mine's going to be kind of workbench electronics on that side. A little bit of decoration maybe. A lot of 3D printing stuff. Camera. VR. This is probably more of what I plan to get done. The kind of stuff I plan to hang. And there's actually kind of my color scheme. It's reversed. I have green on the back with black inserts, but I also have the wall painted black, so I don't know, you'll see it more in just a little bit. So yeah, here's just some of the stuff. I plan to do quite a bit of stuff, probably a lot different than what you're seeing here. So I've already started printing, like I said, I've already printed all of the wall, and I've already started printing a bunch of the storage pieces, which I'll show y'all more later. But I've also been having to design some. So let's look at a couple of the things I've designed. So first I designed this 75mm VESA mount. There was already one that existed, but I didn't like it. It only had one of these nubs to connect to the wall, so I didn't trust that with this is a 16-inch portable monitor. So I didn't trust that. And then I wanted to inset the head of the screws inside of the hole, or I guess it's on the top. So you can see they sit flush there. And then I also made, because I want to route these cables nicely, I also made cable mounts. I just showed it holding up some cables, but basically all I did is I just took an insert and put a line, a bar through it. So now you can run zip ties or Velcro through it. So that's another simple print I came up with for that. And then the last thing I did, and this I created a long time ago, this is actually a wall panel I did a while ago at my old place that I just held. It sat right behind my monitor, so it held some of my headset and my Xbox controller and everything. But I created these drone mounts to hang these smaller drones. There was one that was bigger, more for like a 5-inch drone, but I have smaller drones, so I created this little mount. And this is, I think, a 2.5-inch drone, and this is a 3-inch drone. And depending on the width of the body, it'll hold a bigger drone. But yeah, so there's the basic start of it. Let's go ahead and get those panels mounted, get everything going, and after that's done, we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on, next steps. Okay, so we got everything mounted. Well, we got the wall mounted. And I'm not sure how much of the previous video I'm going to include, so I'm not going to try to double up and talk about anything. But as you can see over here, I do have my speaker and a few other things mounted. But I also ran into some frustrations, kind of the same stuff with how all this has been going anyway. How I don't know where to start. So I got to thinking, I knew a few items, like the ones that are over here, I knew those I wanted mounted. But I got to thinking, what I need to do is I need to lay out everything that I want on this wall. And I don't have, there's probably going to be more than this, but this is a good start to get me getting items. And this should fill up probably half of my wall, maybe a little more. And it may fill up a lot more. I would like to hang some of my like badges and stuff that I've got from hacker boxes and from Cold Brew and Rot 13 Labs. But I need to get at least some of this stuff organized. So I figured I'd go ahead and lay out everything that I need. And then for everything I lay out, I can start printing mounts. So let's kind of see what I have laid out. So over here, got some wires, got a bunch of challenge coins right here. I don't know if I'm actually going to mount those or not, or if they'll go on a different wall or somewhere else. But I would kind of like to put them on like this kind of wall. I've got a bunch of pins, some more tape, my multimeter. Now I had that whole stack of plastic containers right there. I don't know if that's going to end up on this wall. I'm sure some of it will. But I'm also planning on putting drawers underneath with the Gridfinity setup inside the drawers. So some of that may go into the Gridfinity stuff and some of it may go on the wall. I'm not sure yet. But another thing that I ran into frustrations on is, I don't know if you can see this, but that hook is super loose. So in one of the previous videos I mentioned I printed it at 99%. Well, now it's too loose. And let's finish going over what I had. So my lockpick stuff, of course, my flush cuts, all the different tools, rulers, breadboard, my LTT screwdrivers, wire strippers, electric screwdriver, iFixit kit. My mini will go up somewhere, alcohol bottle, just all sorts of things. So this is the stuff I'm going to focus on getting mounted for now. And that's probably where the video will end. Everything else will kind of come as I come up with things that need to be hung. But anyway. Talking back about these hooks. So these hooks were too small. They wiggle, they easily come out. I just wasn't happy with them. And then I printed this mount for the iFixit kit, and see, you can hear it. It's in there decently tight. So when I printed it down at 99%, it was too tight. So now I like it better. So I already have the mount for my iFixit kit. I have the Mayu Mini mount. It'll fit in nice. I've got a mount for my label maker. Let's see, what other mounts did I print? I printed this mount for my Gerber tool. It actually said for Leatherman, but it just does this belt loop mount. I don't know if this is even going to make it on the wall. It might, and I might just put it back in my backpack. I don't know yet. I did print this, and I'm not sure what it's for, what I'm going to use it for yet. It's just a box. It still has the support on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but it may be the perfect one for all my Sharpies that I plan to put in it. So that's an option. here is the cable management pieces I made. Here's one without Velcro in it. So you can see there's a bar through it, so you can mount zip ties or something to it. I did print a shelf. It's actually designed, or in the photos they put it like this, but the way it's printed, it should sit like this just perfect. And I figured this would be good for some of the display stuff I want to do. And then let me go ahead and show you this. This is that portable monitor that I'm planning to hang. I haven't hung it yet. I know about where I want it, but I want to figure out a few other things. So this is it might be a 15. It's a 15 or 16 inch monitor. I can't remember for sure. I think it's 16. But as you can see, the bolts are flush. It's got 2 mounting points. I just barely put it up there earlier. So once it goes in, it's probably not coming back out. So I just barely put it in to see if it's where I like it. But just to show that it does mount. I'm very happy with it. There's probably a few other tools that I'm going to hang. I kind of did a quick look through of all my tools. And these are tools that I use every day, whether it be for printing or soldering and stuff like that. And even over here with my soldering stuff, like I may make a mount for my TS101 because of how often I do pick it up. Even though I have my bigger soldering iron right there, I have a real fine tip on the TS101, and so it comes in handy quite often. I do also have other tips, whereas my main soldering iron, I don't have any extras. When I replace it, I will, and then I'll need another mount for that. I did go ahead and print things for my flush cuts or pliers of any sort. And then I mentioned a ruler. I've got these little bitty rulers, but I do have a large ruler that I will want to hang. So that'll allow me to hang that ruler wherever I decide. And so yeah, that's it. I'm not going to show me finding what I need to hang all this stuff. I will do a time lapse of me hanging it though, and then we'll talk a little bit more about my final layout and what I think of it, and we'll call it good there. But yeah, for now, let's get some things printed, and then you'll see me hanging stuff, and then I'll talk to you again. Alright, so now that the storage wall is halfway done, obviously I haven't finished this half over here, but I have all of this done. And this is all I'm going to do for this video, because it's going to take me a lot longer to finish the other half, because it's going to be a lot of things I probably have to design myself for specific things I want. There are a few things that I'm going to end up printing here shortly. Like, I'll do a holder for the solder sucker, and my flex pin. There's probably a handful of other things I'll do that'll be on this side as well. Like, it wouldn't hurt to have just a little holder for this thing. It'll be a shelf, that'd be cool. But yeah, so I'm very happy with the way it's come. This is already helping take away some of the clutter. A lot of this stuff down here left is parts. I still need to finish running my wire. I'm going to run it over and straight down with my wire organizer things I made. But yeah, I've designed this, these, and then my wire ties. So if you like any of those, check them out. I'll have a link to my Maker, what is it? Whatever Bamboos is, Maker World or whatever. I'll have a link down below. I'll also have a link to the printable links, probably just to my profile, and then you can find it on my profile. I don't have that many designs on there currently. But yeah, this is a great start to just getting things organized, getting things in a place they need to be. I'm always looking for my flush cutters, so now they'll always be right there. I have one more set of flush cutters that I'll put just further down the board for when I work. This side of the workbench is going to be a different kind of work anyway. Really, a lot of these tools could probably move down there, and I may move some. Like, these need to be glued in. The ones for they don't hold in like some of these other ones. These other ones you're not going to rip out like that. But yeah, I think this is a great start to it. The next thing is probably going to be some Gridfinity stuff. I'm going to start making some under desk or the under workbench drawers that will hold the Gridfinity cubes. I'll probably create some Gridfinity storage boxes that can be stacked. Probably run some Gridfinity like right along the back here of the storage wall as it is. So Gridfinity is definitely, I think, gonna be the next step. I don't know how deep into Gridfinity I'm gonna go. I know there's a ton of it, but I haven't found an under workbench drawer set that I like yet. So there's a good chance I just end up designing it. But yeah, if you like this video, like it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I've got a lot more of these storage things planned. I'm going to be moving my rack hopefully sometime soon. And then I'll make videos on the things in the rack as well. Different services we want to run. Like I mentioned before, I'm only currently running TrueNAS. I have Proxmox on a couple of things, but nothing on that Proxmox. And then I do run OpenSense on one of those HP minis I showed. But other than that, we've got a lot of organization still left to do. So if you'd like to continue following along with this, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. We'll see you next time.